Hi, I'm Nicole. As a registered pharmacist, business owner, former Mrs. South Africa and all-round adventurer, I never shy away from a challenge. But I have to admit, as a mom, putting on a brave face during these turbulent times can be tough. During April, as the national lockdown was in full swing, 19 medical professionals wrote an open letter to the President. This letter outlined some of the unintended consequences of the lockdown on the health system. Among those, South Africans not being able to or neglecting to take care of their general health needs for a variety of reasons. An expert guest joins us to unpack the dangers of ignoring general ailments as we fight the novel coronavirus. Dr. Green, have you found that South Africans have been neglecting their general health during the COVID-19 pandemic?
So these are indeed exceptional times, and people are living with a lot of fear and anxiety around the uncertainty and the stigma associated with coronavirus and the whole COVID-19 infection pandemic at the moment. So you can imagine that people are apprehensive to be evaluated by their general practitioner, and people are holding on a little bit longer before presenting with any concerns around their health. And not all, obviously, of that needs to be negated or shot down. That could be very good because you don't want unnecessary exposure to really, really sick people, and you don't want to facilitate the spread of further coronavirus infection. What's happening out there across the spectrum, both in the private health sector and in the public health sector, it's incredible to see how they've taken hands in putting together tools and resources and made those resources available to the general public in terms of deciding, do I need help, when should I go in, and how should I go about sorting out my concerns about my health and wellness. There's simple things like screening tools to know whether your symptom complex, whether it's a runny nose or a sore throat, is worth worrying about. So we expect people to take responsibility for their health and make use of these resources.
As a pharmacist, I can recognize the importance of self-care medication. How important is it to keep your immune system strong?
When we look at evidence-based medicine, the things that are important to realize is you don't change your immune profile or your immune system overnight. The decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis and the habits that you formed over time, that's what will determine in what condition your engine is to take on the road and the journey and fight this pandemic. So the decisions are around sleep, diet, they're around exercise. And we often forget that being compliant on medication is another simple way of you maintaining your immunity against this pandemic. So we need to take it very seriously and also be aware that your immunity is something that is multifaceted in terms of the contributing factors. And you have power to change that, and it starts with sometimes even small adjustments in your perception.
What advice can you give to caregivers who want to take control of their own and their family's health?
Your responsibility is to yourself first. So be aware of the fact that you primarily can only give care, show empathy and compassion productively and be effective at that if you yourself are looking after your own general wellness and well-being. If you have any chronic conditions, make sure that you have your medication, make sure that it doesn't run out and that you have sufficient stock. So it's crucial to remember that even in these times of uncertainty, fear, and anxiety, that you are not alone. You'll find that we are absolutely privileged and blessed in an era of having access to information. And remember, too, those resources that I've mentioned in terms of hotlines, question and answers online. Those platforms are at your disposal, whether you're in the private or obviously the public health sector. And you don't have to go through this alone.
Thank you, Dr. Green. So the moral of the story is that bravery sometimes translates into being responsible, careful, and practical. Do not underestimate any flu-like symptoms. Make sure you consult with your healthcare professional and do not neglect treatments and appointments for existing conditions. Ultimately, your health and the health of your loved ones is in your hands.